Peace and blessings. Sounds of Salem here. Fear is a challenge that all of us face, some more than others, and in the world of psychology, it's defined as a phobia, mental imbalance, or a mental distress, commonly triggered by personal encounters of the past or feelings of imminent harm or danger, whether they be real or imagined. In other words, an emotional response to what the mind perceives to be a threat. But it's important for us to understand this one thing. According to the scriptures, it's a spirit. There are many exhortations in the scriptures that we need to keep at the forefront of our minds if we are to get victory over the spirit of fear. We as his creation are finite and bound to this body we were endowed with. And without question, we're here for a purpose, striving for perfection in this Torah-centric life. Shaul encouraged the saints in Ephesus with these words: "We are the workmanship of Elohim, created in Hamashiach, unto good works, which Elohim prepared in advance, that we should walk in them." Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 10. King David in the Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 14, says this: "I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well." There was fear when he created his saints, and that fear is the fact that when he created you and I, he stood in awe of his creation and said that we were marvelous. So, if we're made in his image, and we are, shouldn't our works be marvelous also? It's quintessential that our souls learn to embody this truth. The spirit of fear really has a way of derailing the greatness that Elohim has planned for our lives. We must guard our soul at all costs from this spirit. A wise man put it this way: guard your soul with all diligence, because out of it springs the issues of life. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 23. See, every day we're bombarded with information and messaging through media, movies, music, advertisements, or even just simple conversation. Not to mention in the visions of the night when deep sleep fall upon men. And that state is the most vulnerable. So, what if I told you that every thought that enters your mind is not yours? Every thought that enters my mind isn't mine. We see an example of an encounter that Hamashiach had with Peter that put this into perspective. Hamashiach was face to face with his impending harm and danger that will befall him, as written in the Torah by the prophets. He took this time to open up his disciples' understanding concerning his death, his burial, and his resurrection. Let's read in the book of Matthew, the 16th chapter, and verse 22. "Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Adonai, this shall not be unto thee. And he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, and thou savorest not the things that be of Elohim, but those that be of men." Hamashiach used this exchange as a teaching tool for the rest of the Talmudim to learn the lesson to always be on guard against the wiles of the devil, or you might be a devil yourself, and to be ready to cast down every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Elohim, bringing every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. Peter has seen some of the most amazing miracles and walked alongside Hamashiach in the 3 years of his ministry, one of the closest to him. But Peter was called the devil and a snare by Hamashiach himself. Yet the sobering part about this whole exchange is that Peter was unaware. This shows how subtle and sudden an attack can happen. Whenever we embrace the spirit of fear, just know that love and sound judgment will always be forfeited. See, Hamashiach in that moment had a readiness of mind to revenge all disobedience in Israel through the fulfilling of his obedience to his Father. This was his purpose. This is why he came, to fulfill a purpose. He chose to keep his soul with all diligence, and understanding that the fear of man bringeth a snare. But whosoever trusts in Yahweh shall be safe. So we, like Peter, are a work in progress. This takes much practice and requires great patience, first with ourselves and then with others. Every day is a battlefield that starts with the mind, and we're to put on the full armor of Elohim, starting with the helmet of salvation, equipping ourselves with the same mind of Hamashiach, knowing that Elohim did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound judgment. 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. May the Most High bless you and keep you. And until next time, peace and blessings.